In the news this week, the Northern Ireland Secretary forces the province to expand abortion services. A Christian MP quizzes the Education Secretary on combating indoctrination in schools. And England footballer Bukayo Saka speaks about the importance of having God in his life. Hello. The Secretary of State for Northern Ireland has carried out a threat to force Northern Ireland to expand abortion services. Following an initial announcement in October, Heaton-Harris has instructed the Department of Health to commission abortion services across the province without the approval of Stormont. The UK Supreme Court also decided that censorship zones, banning prayer and peaceful protest can be imposed outside abortion clinics in the province. The court rejected concerns from Northern Ireland's Attorney General that the Abortion Services Safe Access Zones Bill would disproportionately affect the right to protest. The Institute's Northern Ireland officer, Callum Webster, said that imposing buffer zones silences those who peacefully offer women compassionate alternatives to abortion. This is a draconian approach by the state. It denies women the opportunity to consider other responses to a crisis pregnancy that are less harmful to themselves and their baby. The new Education Secretary has been pressed on how she intends to tackle the promotion of politically contested ideas in the classroom. In Gillian Keegan's first appearance before the Education Committee, Miriam Cates MP asked her whether the teaching of one political idea to the exclusion of all others amounted to indoctrination.
A recent report published by Professor Eric Kaufman in Policy Exchange, based on some YouGov polling, that found that 75% of children had been exposed to critical social justice theories in schools. Of those 3/4 of British children who'd encountered those theories in schools, 68% said they'd been taught those ideas as fact without alternative views being on offer, or told that the alternative views were not respectable. Now, do you think that the teaching of those theories, which are highly contested and actually don't have widespread support amongst the mainstream of the population, do you think teaching them as fact is politically partisan?
Yeah, I guess I do think that. Obviously, the guidance was there to basically try and navigate through some of these areas. The most important thing, and I know this is something that you've been campaigning on as well, and I agree with you on, is transparency. People should be able to see what we're teaching children in schools. Parents should be able to see it.
The Charity Commission has opened a full statutory inquiry into trans activist group Mermaids after new issues emerged about its governance and management. In September, the Commission launched a regulatory compliance case into the group over revelations it sent chest binders to 13-year-olds without their parents' knowledge. But the watchdog said the responses from trustees has not provided the necessary reassurance or satisfied the Commission. The escalated inquiry will examine whether the organisation's governance is appropriate for working with vulnerable children and their families. It will seek to identify issues including the extent, if any, of criminal, unlawful or improper misconduct. The organisation's CEO, Susie Green, stood down last month after a series of scandals emerged, including revelations that one employee had posted highly explicit photos of himself online, while a trustee had links to an organisation promoting paedophilia. And finally, England's World Cup winger Bukayo Saka has said it is really important to always have the presence of God in his life. The Arsenal player, who attends a Pentecostal church in London, told a press conference that he has continued to read the Bible every night during the tournament, which is taking place in Qatar. The main thing for me is keeping my faith, having faith in God, so I don't need to be nervous or worried about any outcomes. Saka explained that because it is his first World Cup, I could start worrying about different things and different outcomes, but instead I just choose to put my faith in God. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.